it is actually early evening. I just didn't want to deviate too much from my signature greeting. So, morning, it's the evening. I'm about to go out and do some training, so I thought maybe you might want to see what I'm doing because it's a lovely sunny day and I'm going somewhere really pretty. Today I'm going to head off to Haytor, which is where they did the National Hill Climb Championships last October. I actually signed up for that race, but then I bailed at the last minute because all my friends were going mountain biking for the day and I fancied doing that instead. But it's a lovely place to train, and I've got some quite specific training that I'm going to do that my coach at Train Sharp has set me. So I'm going to jump on the bike, not waffle too much. When I get closer to the climb, I'll explain more about what I'm doing. I'm also going to overlay some power data so you can see how I'm getting on, and that will hold me accountable and make me push harder because I know you're going to watch it. But I like this workout. It's a threshold, so it's painful, but I'm prepared to suffer. I kind of like it. I'm weird. So let's go. It's such a lovely evening to hurt myself. Okay, so I've made it to Bobby Tracy where I'm going to start the main part of today's training session. I'm carrying on a short block of training that I've been set, and essentially what I have to do is climb up a big hill, Haytor, twice with a break in between. So a couple of weeks ago I had to come out here and I did 12 minutes of climbing at FTP and then descended and recovered for 10 minutes and then did another 12 minutes of climbing. Last week I came back and I did 14 minutes and then a break and then 14 minutes, and today I'm doing 16 minutes and then another 16 minutes. So the reason I like this is because you start building up the amount of time that you're spending at FTP, but it's done in a manageable way and it feels achievable. Whereas if my coach had just said, hey, just come out and do 36 minutes at FTP, all of a sudden, then that would seem much more daunting. This way you just increase it bit by bit, and another couple of minutes, I mean, it's not that much, so you kind of feel that you can do it. I am a bit nervous about doing this because hill climbing is not my greatest, it's not my strong point, but I like this session because firstly it improves that, and secondly it increases the amount of time that I can sit at an uncomfortable power, and that'll be really useful for the longer endurance races that I'm doing. But I'm sure I'm not gonna do well on the Strava leaderboard because there were some amazing times set at the National Hill Climb Champs, and also not only are the people that do that event really good, but they're riding the lightest bike you can ever find without a helmet, and I'm riding my heavier though beautiful bike, and well, am I making excuses? I'm making excuses. Anyway, the point of this for me is not to smash the Strava leaderboard, it is to get some quality training in and to enjoy a beautiful evening. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness, it was so hard. The worst thing about that, I've got a playlist and I was riding up expecting to listen to some good tunes that were going to spur me on. All of a sudden, along comes Bop by Hanson. Is it Hanson? Bop? Why is that on my playlist? Someone's been trolling me. I think Dave's been in there and put some stupid tunes in because Pink came on next. So that was really off-putting. But I managed to get up here, not quite, to the top of Haytor, you'll see. But it felt really, really hard. Last week I felt quite elated. It felt good. It felt easy. Not easy, but you know. This week I really felt like I was riding through treacle. It felt like someone had let my tyres down, or there was a headwind, or I don't know. It just felt super, super hard. Having said that, I did hit the cattle grid after 12 minutes, which is what I tend to aim for. But I did a really poor job of keeping my power even because, well, I knew you'd be watching and I wanted to keep my power up. So I should have just sat at 210 watts, but instead of that, it kept spiking and I kept sort of pushing a bit harder, which is not the whole point of this exercise. But it is hard to maintain a constant power when there's so many steep bits of this climb. I don't know what the steepest bit is, but I'll try and have a look on my next lap. But I mean, you can't sit at 210 watts when you're climbing, you know, a 16% hill. You just won't keep moving. Anyway, before I get super cold, I'm going to descend back down and have another go. I'm sure I won't do as well this time because that felt almost impossible. But it is a lovely night and I am on my bike. I'll make sure that no stupid tunes come on this time. This is good training, so yeah, can't complain. Right, I'm back down in Bobby Tracy. The idea is that I have 10 minutes recovery ride in between efforts, but I get so cold descending and I can't be bothered to put my jacket on. So I'm just going to head straight back up and see how I get on. Hopefully it's going to be really lovely and sunny and beautiful at the top of Haytor. So I'm going to push on, see how far I can get in my 16 minutes or maybe carry on a bit further to the top. Before I set off, one thing I need to do is make sure I've got some good tunes because it really makes such a difference to me. So I'm going to put on a good TT playlist. Right, all sorted. Here goes nothing. I think I was only very marginally slower on the bottom section that time. I got to the cattle grid about 10 seconds later. But oh my God, I just couldn't move. I just couldn't, my legs, I probably, if I wasn't filming it for you, I might have given up. It just felt so impossible, but my pride prevented me from stopping. Anyway, I did the 16-minute interval and then I carried on because I wanted to get to the junction here at Haytor Visitor Centre. And if I were better and stronger and more motivated, I would have just carried on all the way up to the very, very, very top of Haytor. But because I was doing that threshold effort right from the bottom, I gave it everything I could just to get here. So, sorry, I'm going to take an easy roll up there. Easy roll, it's up a hill. I'm going to have a little ride up there and have a look. And then hightail it home, have a quick look at Strava when I get there, because even though I know I won't have done very well, I still can't resist having a look. And God, I need a recovery shake. Feet up. What a tough session. Hey, you know one thing I've learned from today's session? The 10 minutes recovery ride where you spin your legs in between the two efforts. It's vital. Oh my God, I had so much lactic acid in my legs when I set off for the second one. That was a big mistake. I think next time I do it, I'm going to do a proper recovery in between. Actually, I might do this again next week, but on my my lightweight climbing bike. I think it's probably 2 kilos lighter than this custom Windy Miller I'm riding. It's got much shallower rims as well, so I might come back, make sure that I'm better prepared, well hydrated on a light bike and do the recovery in between. Look at this view. I'm so happy. And now it's all downhill.